Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Metal Meltdown. I was planning to talk about the new Sanguisugabog album, and I probably still will, just not today. Instead, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame decided to rear its ugly head and unveil its nominees for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for 2023. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has consistently been kind of crappy, kind of poopy, especially in this modern era. They seem far more interested in excluding rock from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame rather than including it. You know, I'm not against having pop or rap or country artists in the Hall of Fame before somebody brings it up, because I do think that they are important to the history of popular music, to the history of rock and roll as a genre. But I do think it's consistently upsetting that rock artists are often shunned in favor of more modern pop, rap, and country artists. Like, that's disappointing. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame also have a noticeable bias towards punk and progressive rock and heavy metal. They don't really care much for these genres whatsoever. They don't really like inducting bands from these genres. And when they do, they usually only do so because there is obscene demand for it. And even then, they won't, like, fully induct the band. Like, last year, for instance, they inducted Judas Priest by giving them some kind of special achievement in music award or some garbage. I don't fully understand what that even means. I don't fully understand why Judas Priest can't just be in the Hall of Fame alongside their peers, alongside, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. I don't know what the problem is there. So yeah, long story short, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, big time dinosaur institution, trying to pander to dinosaurs, but also trying to pander to the youngins out there. So yeah, they have consistently bad takes. I haven't seen this list yet. This is the first time I'm looking at this. I have no idea who's nominated. I have no idea. Obviously, I don't know who's gonna get in. Only time will really tell. Let's find out together. Let's look at this together. Let's have fun. Let's get mad. Let's get stupid. All right, let's do this together. The nominees are... Who's our first nominee? A Tribe Called Quest forever shifted the hip-hop landscape and expanded the creative possibilities for the genre. Their freedom of expression, ingenuity, and minimalist brilliance continue to inspire generations of hip-hop artists and fans. Big time W. Love Tribe Called Quest. Severely underappreciated old-school hip-hop crew, at least as far as, like, mainstream audiences are concerned. Very much deserving of the induction. I don't know if they'll get in. They've been up for nomination quite a few times, and it just hasn't really happened for them, but that would be severely, stupidly awesome. Kate Bush, a spellbinding visionary, the singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and producer Kate Bush created a unique space in rock. She used lush soundscapes, radical experimentation, literary themes, sampling, and theatricality to captivate audiences and inspire countless musicians. Another solid W. I like Kate Bush. I like a lot of her stuff. She's got a very, very unique sound. Probably one of the most unique, like, rock or pop artists in the 80s. Probably just ever. I mean, you know a Kate Bush song when you hear it. I think Kate's got a solid chance of getting in. She's had a boost in popularity as of late from Stranger Things. Plus, in general, she's just still a really popular artist. This seems like a pretty solid chance. I feel comfortable saying Kate Bush is going to get in. Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow's voice is forever woven into the tapestry of American music through her powerhouse solo performances, collaborations with industry icon, and early session music work. Crow's influence reverberates through 1990s classic rock, pop, country, folk, blues, and the work of countless singer-songwriters. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this one. I'm not a fan of Sheryl Crow's music. It's nothing against her personally. I'm not really interested in what she does. I also don't really see her influence reverberating through 90s rock, pop, country, folk, and blues the way the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame says that it does. Like, I don't know a lot of modern artists that are looking at Sheryl Crow and being like, yeah, that's it. That's the shit, man. That's it. That's the motherfucking shit. I don't know, she's probably got a very good chance of getting in, at least through the fan vote. This seems solid. Not earned, but, you know, that doesn't really matter when you're dealing with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I guess. Missy Elliott, a songwriter, groundbreaking producer, label executive, and video trendsetter. Missy Misdemeanor Elliott was crucial to crafting the Virginia Beach sound that took over the airwaves in the late 90s and 2000s. She established herself as an in-demand songwriter and producer and founded her own record label, all before breaking out as a platinum-selling solo star. Honestly, another big-time W. Missy Elliott, yeah, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. With the exception of Sheryl Crow, I'm honestly fine with all these nominees. This is not terrible. This is a solid list of nominees that the Hall of Fame has put together this time around. I think Missy's chances of getting in are pretty good. Like, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame loves inducting, like, the big names of, like, 90s and 2000s hip-hop, and she's one of the few big names of 90s and 2000s hip-hop that isn't currently in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Eminem's there, Jay-Z's there, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. It only makes sense that Missy Elliott would be up there with them. Plus, the Hall of Fame is actively trying to nominate and induct more black women, more people of color, as part of their inclusivity, diversity initiative. So this feels like a very, very, very safe clutch for Missy Elliott. She's definitely getting in. I'm calling it. That's a you can put the Metal Meltdown stamp of I'm definitely right about this on this. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. Yo, Iron Maiden! Cool. Hell yeah. Iron Maiden created the blueprint for how heavy metal bands should look, sound, and tour. Throughout the 1980s, the British group released 7 high-octane albums that solidified it as one of rock's biggest bands. With a blistering assault of guitars, driving rhythm section, and soaring vocals, Iron Maiden can switch gears at a moment's notice to take audiences on an expressive, atmospheric journey. I don't think Iron Maiden's getting in. They should get in. They deserve to get in. And the fan vote, that might reflect on the fan vote. Who knows? But I don't think they'll get in. Because Iron Maiden have been nominated multiple other times, and they have failed in spectacular fashion each time. And as we've discussed, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is very biased towards a lot of heavy metal. So yeah, I think Iron Maiden's chances are pretty fucking slim. Which is a shame, because they fucking deserve it. It's honestly a little weird that Iron Maiden is not already in the Hall of Fame. I feel like if Iron Maiden does get in, the Hall of Fame will do what they did to Judas Priest last year, and they'll be like, here's your Special Achievement in Music Rock History Award. Which, I mean, fine, at least that's something, I guess, but I don't know, I don't want crumbs, I want a fucking entree, you know what I mean? I don't want the fucking fried calamari, bring me the prime rib. Iron Maiden deserve their prime rib, they deserve that shit. What next? Joy Division and New Order, 2 bands that share a single story. It is the remarkable tale of innovative musicians who created something revolutionary and massively influential, not once but twice. They were gothic rock pioneers who became electronic dance floor innovators and a beacon of thousands of bands that followed. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting. I don't think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has ever done this. So they're nominating Joy Division and New Order together, which is fucking... That's really cool. And honestly, it kind of makes sense, because, I mean, the New Order basically picked up where Joy Division left off, albeit, you know, going sonically down different paths later on. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Both of these bands, you know, independently in their own right, I think are more than worthy. Both of them together, that's cool. That's smart. I don't know if they'll get in. But it's definitely pretty cool to see them get that recognition. And this is a cool idea in the future. I'm curious if maybe they would do this for maybe someone like Dio, who's been in a bunch of different bands that, you know, individually maybe wouldn't get a ton of recognition from the Hall of Fame, but together as a combined force, you know what I mean? Or maybe even something like Hellhammer, Celtic Frost. Not that Celtic Frost ever stand a chance, but, you know, you get the idea. It's an interesting concept. Hoping they get in. We'll see if they actually do, though. Cyndi Lauper, she's so unusual. Never have 3 words so completely captured the essence of an artist. Cyndi Lauper is truly iconic, from her distinctive 4-octave voice and eclectic mix of pop, rock, reggae, funk, and dance styles to her multicolored hair and eclectic wardrobe. Lauper broke down barriers for waves of future artists and empowered them to perform as their unique, authentic selves. Yeah, I'm fine with this as well. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Cyndi Lauper fan. I'm not even really familiar with a ton of her material, but I mean, her influence can be seen across the realms of like pop and rock, especially in the 2000s and the late 90s. You know, like Cyndi Lauper walked so that someone like Gwen Stefani could fucking run. Yeah, I'm down with this. I feel like Cyndi Lauper, very, very safe chance of getting in. This feels like a very safe bet. If I were a gambling man, I'd be putting a decent amount of cash on Cyndi Lauper right now. She's definitely getting in. Next up, George Michael. George Michael possessed extraordinary talent as a songwriter, vocalist, and producer. His incomparable vision and drive propelled him to superstardom, and he became the most played artist on British radio from 1984 to 2004, and one of the best-selling artists of all time. Yeah, he's getting in. I don't even need to elaborate on this. He's getting in. He's a gay man. He's dead. Those are two things the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame loves. They love gay men, and they love inducting dead men. So he's definitely fucking getting in. I'm kind of shocked they're not doing the same thing with Joy Division and New Order for George Michael. Like, you could have easily slapped Wham onto this, which makes sense, because, I mean, you know, a lot of his early hits and a lot of his early noteworthy moments and bits were with Wham. That seems like a bit of a missed opportunity there, but I suppose it's... I don't know, it's not that big a deal. Yeah, George Michael's getting in. That's definitely going to happen. Willie Nelson! Is he really not already in the Hall of Fame? That's weird to think about. With over 60 years in the music business, Willie Nelson, songwriter, performer, anti-establishment outlaw, political activist, and philanthropist, is an American institution. Nelson may call country music his home, but he has always pushed stylistic boundaries, mixing in rock and roll, jazz, pop, and blues. Yeah, yeah, I hope he gets in. I think he will. This makes sense. Dolly Parton got in last year. The Hall of Fame loves recognizing like the old school country guard, like Johnny Cash is in as well. This feels like an extremely safe bet. Putting my money on Willie Nelson as well, and it's deserved. Willie Nelson's a badass. Rage Against the Machine. Interesting. The greatest rock and roll is the voice of change, and Rage Against the Machine shook the foundations of the status quo lyrically, sonically, and philosophically. The band mixed hip-hop, punk, metal, funk, and rock in an entirely new way. They took aim at oppressive systems of power, cultural, political, and economic, and set a new standard for how to ignite a revolution through the power of music. Rage Against the Machine deserves so hard to be in the Hall of Fame. I cannot think of another band that is as influential to as many genres as Rage Against the Machine. Like, they've got such a colossal impact on punk music, on metal music, on alternative music, on hip-hop and rap. Like, and like, Tom Morello has arguably the most distinctive and, like, totally one-of-a-kind guitar sound to this day. There's literally, fucking literally no other guitarist who sounds even a little bit like him, who plays even a little bit like him. I don't know if Rage is getting in, because they've been nominated quite a few times in the past and have not gotten in, but they definitely deserve it. And who knows? I mean, they're kicking around. They did a reunion tour, I think, last year, so they're just enough still in the public eye that they could get a solid amount of support in the fan vote. So I'm down with this. I'm down so far with this entire nominees list, with the exception of Sheryl Crow. That's still an odd one for me. But yeah, I mean, you know, you get 95% on a math test, it's still a fucking A+, so I don't know. I guess Hall of Fame doing a solid job this year. Oh my goodness, Soundgarden. Soundgarden ignited the grunge movement that radically changed rock and roll. The band's raw power came out of the Northwest and flew in the face of a synthetic, disconnected world to give countless fans what they had long desired, a voice and a sense of belonging. Yet another band that I'm shocked is not already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I hope they get in. I don't know if they will. This is not their first time being nominated, but I really, really, really fucking hope they do get in. They fucking deserve it. Next up, the Spinners. The Spinners remain one of the most beloved R&B vocal groups in the world, celebrated by fans and fellow artists alike. Initially a Motown band with Detroit origins, the Spinners' lush, soulful harmonies and magnetic stage presence would come to define Philadelphia soul. They achieved massive crossover success with their songs filling the airways and connecting with listeners around the world. Interesting pick. I'm down with this. I don't know a ton of the Spinners stuff off the top of my head. I didn't realize they were like that, like, influential to like the sound of R&B and soul. so I guess I can't really comment on that. The few songs that I do know from them, I like. So I guess I'm down with this. I'm fine with this. That's an interesting pick. I can get down to clown with that. Oh, here's an interesting one. If I'm not mistaken, this would be the first time the White Stripes would be up for nomination. The White Stripes reimagined minimalist garage and punk rock for a new generation that brought blues into the 21st century. They stripped down rock to its essentials and delivered the uninhibited freedom that only the best music can offer. You know what? I'm good with this. This feels like a very solid bet, too. The White Stripes are still a very popular band, despite having disbanded quite a few years ago. It helps that Jack White is still very active and still very much in the public eye. He's got a really unique sound. He's an innovator. He's a great songwriter, great producer. This is another very... Oh, God, actually, it might be difficult to say who could get in. Man, there's actually a lot of good choices. Oof. Damn. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame actually kind of popping off this year. I don't know. We'll see. I feel like White Stripes is going to get a lot of love from the fan vote. That's for sure. Warren Zevon. Warren Zevon was an artist, one of the most talented and significant singer-songwriters to emerge in the 1970s. Zevon wrote poetic but offbeat songs, often with darkly humorous and acerbic lyrics, and delivered them with a dry wit and twisted energy like no other performer could. I don't know enough about this guy to comment. I've heard this name before, but I'm just not really familiar with any of his material off the top of my head. So let's do a little research because I'm curious. Zevon's most famous compositions include Werewolves of London. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know that song. That's a big one. Lawyers, Guns, and Money, Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. He also wrote major hits that were recorded by other artists, including Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me. Who's that by? I don't know who that's by. It's apparently by him. Oh, Lyndon Ronstadt did a cover. Okay. I don't know, he seems like a cool guy. He's got a cool style. He definitely had success. There's no arguing that, but I don't know. I'm not really seeing, like, the colossal influence and impact, you know, not on the scale of someone like Missy Elliott or the White Stripes or Rage Against the Machine or Willie Nelson. Like, I don't really hold him in, like, that same regard, just based on what I know. I don't know. That's just how I feel right now. This and Sheryl Crow just feel like odd ones. Although I would pick Warren over Sheryl Crow just because I don't know what the fuck Sheryl Crow's doing here, to be honest. Yeah, overall, honestly, this is a pretty solid list. I feel like, I mean, obviously, you know, Cyndi Lauper, Missy Elliott, even Sheryl Crow, they probably stand the biggest chances of getting in just based on how the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has inducted artists in the past. As far as who I would like to see get in the most, I mean, I'm feeling the White Stripes, I'm feeling Missy Elliott, Willie Nelson, Joy Division New Order, Rage Against the Machine. Oh, fuck, but Iron Maiden is... Damn it, this is a good list, actually! Fuck! You know what, White Stripes, you're still young. You'll get another chance in the future anyway. If you're not inducted, you'll be nominated again in the future. I'm fine giving this to... let's go Tribe Called Quest. They've been nominated so many times over the years. They deserve to get in. Willie Nelson, it's weird that you're not in there. It's weird that you're not in there. Missy Elliott, you'll probably get in. You don't need my fan vote. Oh, man, but I don't want to leave out Soundgarden. I don't want to leave out Kate Bush either. Damn! Fuck! The Hall of Fame actually they actually have a pretty solid nominee list this year. Damn! You know what? Sorry, Willie, but I am going to give it to Kate Bush. Sorry, Willie. I mean, I don't think you'll need my help with the fan vote anyway, so somehow I think you'll be fine. Those are my picks. Who's number one leading the fan vote right now? Let's have a look at that while we're here. Cyndi Lauper, sure, that makes sense. Willie Nelson, George Michael, Soundgarden, Iron Maiden, alright! Cool, nice. Warren Zevon, a lot of votes. Who's got the lowest amount of votes? Oh, boo, it's Tribe Called Quest. Oh, that fucking sucks. I demand a recount. Fake news. I'm gonna storm the Capitol over this shit. Oh, this is bullshit. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I can't say I'm too shocked by that. Still a lot of people, especially from the realms of metal, punk, and prog, that should be inducted. From metal, I'm thinking like Slayer, I'm thinking Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue, maybe Marilyn Manson. I mean, Marilyn Manson's a fucking piece of human garbage who should rot in a jail cell forever. But I mean, if we're looking specifically at the music, his image, his art, it's undeniably supremely influential on metal, rock, goth music, alternative music. Like, I think he definitely deserves it. We got to give him credit for at least that. Plus, it's not like there aren't also just terrible human beings in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like, I look, they got Steven Tyler and Jimmy Page who straight up just fucked children. They got fucking Chuck Berry who like snuck into women's washrooms and took pictures of them while they were on the toilet. What are you gonna do, man? I'm not trying to excuse anything he's done. I'm just saying you can't deny the music has had influence. You can't deny he's a rock and roll icon for, even in his worst moments. On the prog side of things, too, King Crimson would be great. On the punk side of things, the Misfits, Bad Brains, Black Flag. I would make a case for Public Image as well, although I don't think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wants anything to do with John Lydon anymore after that whole debacle with the Sex Pistols back in '06. All right, now it's your turn. Tell me who you think should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tell me who you think should fucking be inducted this year. Who deserves the most to be inducted out of all of these artists? You've got a decent... You can't really go wrong with a lot of these. So, like, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good choices this year. But I don't know, maybe you're the type of motherfucker that's like, oh, hip-hop doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Maybe you're the type of motherfucker that's like, oh, why isn't obscure 70s B-tier rock band in the Hall of Fame? In which case, let me know. Tell me all about it. I might call you a boomer, but, feel free to tell me about it, I guess, because that's why we're here. To bitch and moan about this dinosaur institution. Press, oh man, that was a trip. No wait, the button's gonna be over here. Alright, press this button right here to subscribe. Look! There's another video over this way, and also over this way. And also have a fantastic day, y'all. Cheers. Holy shit, I'm gonna go take a fucking nap!